He punched Kennedi several times on the face and even tried to stab her with a knife. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me for another episode of True Crimes. My name is Esther. If it's your first time here, welcome. Thank you for joining me. If you're interested in true crime stories, please hit the subscribe button. I upload new videos every week and you can join me, hear these stories together. Today, I'm going to be talking about a young lady who was murdered by her partner, who is also the father of her child, in East London in April 2024. Kennedi met Lois at college. So they were teenagers, kind of like high school sweethearts. They started seeing each other, started going out, two young lovebirds. Everything seemed okay. After college, Kennedi got pregnant and her family was in the Midlands. So she moved in with the family in the Midlands and Lois went to visit. The family welcomed Lois with open arms during the COVID lockdown. Lois joined them. He also moved in with the entire family. They took him as one of their own. They all lived happily together. Then, as time was going on, Louis started showing signs of erratic behavior. Louis was a cannabis smoker. He had been smoking for a very long time. Louis was getting more and more paranoid, accusing some family members of trying to poison him. He felt some people on social media had tapped his phone. He even wrote a letter, and in the letter, he wrote a letter saying that he was going to unalive Kennedi and Kennedi's mom. He started accusing Kennedi's mom of being the devil. His behavior was getting more and more erratic. So Kennedi called a mental health crisis helpline to seek advice. They advised him to stop smoking cannabis. He didn't. Now, Kennedi's mom was beginning to feel uncomfortable in her own home. So Kennedi asked Louis to leave and go back to his own family in London. So a month after he moved out of Kennedi's home, he called Kennedi and asked Kennedi to meet him in East London. Kennedi went to meet him, and that was the last Kennedi's family saw of her. It was Friday, the 5th of April, 2024. He was seen on a bus going to meet Kennedi. He got to where Kennedi was, got into the car, and then they drove around for a while and came back to the same place. And then it seemed like they were having an argument in the car. He was arguing with Kennedi about something. All these things were caught on CCTV and was played in court. Then he got out of the car. There were some bushes nearby. He went into the bush, went to take something. However, he went to take, it wasn't really visible in the CCTV recordings. He came back into the car, leaned over where Kennedi, the driver's side, leaned over Kennedi's side, and it seemed like there was a struggle going on. The CCTV camera was situated in a place where it could only show the back of the car. So you couldn't really see exactly what was going on inside, but you could see him hanging over the driver's window, struggling with Kennedi in there. This went on for about 8 minutes. Then he came out. It was at that moment he unalived his girlfriend and the mother of his child, Kennedi. Tape did not call for help or anything, even though he had access to his phone as well as Kennedi's phone. He then pushed Kennedi onto the passenger side of the car, propped her up, buckled her in, and he sat on the driver's seat. He drove the car to a shop, went into the shop to get some cigarettes, came out, met somebody he probably knew, had a little chat with the person, got back into the car, and drove around for 2 hours. He is believed to have killed Kennedi around 11:25 p.m. He drove around for 2 hours, probably trying to find a way of getting rid of the body. Drove back home, went into his property, and then took Kennedi's mobile phone, started messaging Kennedi's friends, pretending to be Kennedi. Then the next morning, he went to his brother. His brother was in the house with him. He went to his brother to confess to his brother what he had done. His brother is seen coming out of the house to come and check for himself. Brother went to check the car. Kennedi's dead body was in there. Then the brother called the police. Police came Saturday morning, 6th April. They tried to force entry into the car. They tried their best to resuscitate Kennedi before emergency services, the ambulance, could arrive. But unfortunately, it was too late. Kennedi was gone. A knife was also found in the car. Lois Tape was charged with the murder of Kennedi and was arrested. Kennedi suffered blunt force injuries to her face, and the post-mortem also concluded the cause of her death was compression to her neck. He strangled Kennedi. He hit Kennedi several times. He punched, not hit. He punched Kennedi several times on the face and even tried to stab her with a knife, but wasn't successful because it seemed like Kennedi was struggling with him to prevent him from stabbing her. So she had some cuts on her. The father of her child, her high school sweetheart, did this to the young lady, 25 years old, ended her life in such a horrible way. So the court heard that following psychiatric assessment, a psychiatrist concluded that Lois Tape was suffering from paranoid and persecutory delusions arising from undiagnosed schizophrenia. And that a few days before he murdered Kennedi, he was actually supposed to go for an appointment. He had an appointment. He was on the brink of getting diagnosed for schizophrenia, but he didn't attend the appointment. And as a result, partial defense of diminished responsibility was available to him, and therefore he was convicted of manslaughter instead of murder. He was given hospital order under Section 37 of the Mental Health Act. And obviously, this made the family really unhappy. They have lost their loved one, they have lost their sister, their daughter. And then the person that killed their loved one, this young lady, 25 years old lady, is being treated like a patient rather than a criminal.
Kennedi's mother, Linda Westcarr, has expressed absolute betrayal by the justice system. According to her, the decision lacked punishment and ignored evidence of premeditation and coercion. He lived in that area. He asked Kennedi to come to his area and he went to hide a knife in the bush. The family believed that thing he went into the bush for was the knife, and therefore this was premeditated. And also, he coerced Kennedi to come and meet him so that he could kill her. The family feels betrayed. To make matters worse, in January of this year, it was reported that Tape could be given escorted leave from his secure unit only 4 months after his sentence, and he was sentenced September last year. So, obviously, nobody's going to be happy about this. The family is distraught. They feel betrayed. They feel Tape hasn't received the punishment he deserves. They are campaigning for Jade's law to automatically suspend parental responsibility for killers of partners and review of how the CPS handles domestic violence cases. Linda Westcarr has met with government officials, including Work and Pension Secretary Pat McFadden, to call for changes to benefits for offenders in secure psychiatric care.
My thoughts and prayers are with the family of Kennedi Westcarr Sabrioki, especially for that little girl who has now lost a mother for life. She's going to have to live this life without her mother, knowing that it was her father that took away the life of her mother. It was their father that rendered her motherless. May God Almighty strengthen you all and see you through these hard times. May God keep you and give you the justice that you're seeking. Thanks for watching the story of Kennedi Westcarr. May she rest in perfect peace. I'll be back next week with another story. Until then, look after yourselves. Please be safe out there. Take care.